Hey, hi Shaila and Sarup. I'm checking with Louis if he's joining. Sorry for the delay.
Hi, Shravanti. No worries.
Hey Luis, everyone. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Did everyone enjoy their long break? Was it needed? Yeah, very much needed, but that wasn't enough.
Yes, much needed.
That's good. That's good. Christmas is always it's almost upon us anyways, right? So 21 more days.
Louis, I'll be on mute for a few minutes. Actually, yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay, no worries.
yeah. Shaila and Swarup, if you have any questions or if there is something to discuss with Louis, please feel free to forward.
Sure, Shravanti. Thank you. How was your break, Louis?
So my break was actually a month ago. In I'm in Toronto, so our Thanksgiving is in October. So so but I work with companies in the States, so it was very quiet, very quiet 2 days for me.
Oh, okay. Quite early.
Yes, yes. But that was good. No, I took that time. I had to finish a project, so it was good to have those 2 days just to code and follow that way. So,
Oh, good. Did you
how's your,
travel anywhere or just in local?
sorry?
Did you travel anywhere or just in local?
No, just local, just remote work mostly for now.
Good.
Yeah. How's the progress going? Have you thought of a project? Have you thought of anything that you're working on yet, or?
I did, and I tried a chatbot using Gradio and Tavily.
Awesome.
Yeah, the basic is working, but it's not saving the history, the conversation history, Louis. So
And so, in the sense that when it's finished, or when it's happening at the same time.
happening at the same time. In the current active conversation, when I ask the question related to the previous question, it says that, I don't remember, I'm not saving the,
Or
uh,
do you have your code? Maybe you can pull it up, and maybe we can put that in there. So we have to do something called save the conversation history, and we can put a little bit of code in there for you.
okay, yeah, maybe, yeah, I'll pull up the code and I'll
Right.
take it. Yeah, give me a few minutes,
Hey,
Luis.
no worries, no worries. I mean, took you off guard, but yeah, let's get you all set up.
Thanks, Luis. Thank you. Okay, can I share my screen, Luis?
Yes.
Should I send a request here or somehow?
You can try now, Shaila.
Okay, Shravanti.
Do you still have access to share screen, or are you still having difficulties?
No, I think I need little bit of setup for the Zoom to access the screen and all. Give me.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Meanwhile, Luis, the Saturday one will be the last class, right? So what are we gonna do? I mean, I missed the previous class.
Yeah, no worries. Maybe you can catch up on the YouTube video that we have, but for this class, this is the final class of their capstone project. For people to present sort of things that they've been working on, any chatbots, any cool things that they were able to learn from the course, and be able to share with the teams of the different things they've been working on.
Sure, thanks.
Do you see my screen, Luis?
Yes.
Okay. So here,
So ask it, can you please repeat to me my first question? Maybe you can.
okay. So you want me to ask again, right?
Yeah, so can you please repeat what my first question is to say that, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You want me to type that or just?
Yeah, just type that out. Yeah. I want to see that the model is actually saving it.
Not running.
We have to launch it again, yeah, unfortunately. So maybe we can ask a couple questions.
Sorry, Luis, what did you say?
Yeah, maybe ask maybe like 2-3 questions, and then we'll go back and ask the last one.
Yeah. Error.
Okay, maybe let's go all the way up before you hit the Gradio.
The response here, right?
So yeah, so you see right there post you see this error processing post 429 resource has been exhausted. That means when we send too much so when sometimes we are sending too much information to the model. There's a rate limit for the free version of Gemini Pro. So 429 is, let's see here. What is 429 post error?
It did respond now.
Yeah, so it's because you're in the free tier, you can only do 2 requests at a time per minute.
Oh, that's the reason.
Yeah. So you might have to wait just like maybe like 20 seconds and then
Okay, okay, got it. Okay.
Are you using the Pro model?
Yeah, Gemini 1.5 Pro.
Yeah, I would use the Flash one to reduce the limits, and it'd be a faster,
Okay. I'll change that, Luis.
yeah, to see. Yeah, you're getting another host error.
Okay. Let's do it again. Should I try now again?
Yes, try now. So go back to the chat conversation and see.
I'm
Did you have this issue before, or is it just now?
No, this was, I didn't hit these many times,
Mm-hmm.
couple of times, but what the error, I mean, yeah, error was couple of times, but I was, what main thing that I was stuck was like, as I mentioned, I tried to save the conversation. See this, if you see this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
see, I mentioned it. Can you please refer to the current conversation? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
see this, please clarify.
Interesting. Okay, so it's not carrying over the state. So if we go back to your code, let's see here. So we go all the way to the top.
Let me hit this once again and try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's processing. Okay. Again, the same error. Yeah, resources has been exhausted. Okay. Okay. So when we hit these kind of errors, it's just wait and try again, kind Luis, or anything?
Yeah, it's simply because you're using a free API, and Gemini has like a limit, like is very limited. Like you can't really do much once you start like paying for your own APIs. You don't run into these you don't run into like the limits and things like that. But they do that to that's just sometimes they do for the free APIs, unfortunately. But when you get that, you just have to wait like a cooldown period and then try it again.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very frustrating. A lot of people get that response.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Sometimes you might have to go to check your AI Studio. If you've been using it a lot, check your AI Studio and see if if it says free of charge or it has changed. If it has changed and says you have to pay now, I suggest like use another Google account and get another API key for for that end part.
Oh, okay, okay. So after so much of usage, I might have exhausted my free.
Yeah, you just go to AI Studio and it should tell you right there.
Okay, I don't think I have. Okay, should I check that now or should we go through the code?
You can just double check it now just to ensure, like, before you can try to do something else. You can, if it's going to be loading. You just open a new tab, just type in AS Studio. It should just tell you quickly.
And sign with my thing and see
Yeah.
it. So where does it say, or where do I check?
I don't see the screen if you're trying to, if you're on another screen, you can only see the one where the code's running. Maybe you're sharing, maybe you shared a window rather than versus sharing your screen.
Oh, okay, okay. So how do I change that?
Stop sharing and then share again.
Okay. Do you see it?
Okay. Yes.
So where do I see here?
Just need to. So go to go to get API key.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're still free of charge, so it's good. So it shows that you're still so that means you're still under the limit. So that's very good. So if on the right side, if you see plan, if it says paid, that means you've exhausted your resources. So
Okay.
you're good to go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better now. It's working now. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to your code now that we know that it's just that call input. Let's go to the very top.
Four, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's your, so that's this column, this is just calling your Gradio. So if you go all the way, if you go to the other code above, okay, let's go up, go up, go up. Okay. Register trace, get history. Okay, cool. Add message conversation history. Go up a little higher. Okay, So let's stop there. Scroll down just a little bit. So the purpose of your chatbot is to do what? Is it simply just to search Tavily?
Yeah, instead of I didn't just you wanted to use Tavily's response and display.
I'm sorry, I don't hear you anymore. That help. Charlotte, sorry, we lost you. Can't hear you anymore.
Sorry, Luis, you didn't hear.
No, you stopped talking like right after you said after using Tablet response. That's the last thing I heard.
Oh yeah, using the Tavily response to display for in the chatbot, Luis.
Okay, is it just for Tablet? Do you
Just
want to do anything else? Do you want to say search the internet and search for something else like that?
no. Just I wanted to try with that and see.
Yeah, because for example, right now, if you scroll down, like, so this is the React agent, right? So this React agent is looking for finding ways to get the current date. And this one, if you scroll down more, get current date, creating the agents, registering, get the history. So this one's a little more complicated than what you need for your like a quick, for example, just doing a quick RAG or a quick search, simply just creating a simple agent. This one is trying to decide when to use the current date or when you're trying to do Tavily, things like that, right? So we don't need to do like one as complicated. You could probably do one with a good prompt engineering at the front. And then we can just have it call the API to respond back, and then maybe that will get you a better chat conversations. So if I may, let me just pull something up here. Or Tavily. Again, documentation. Okay. Let me just open up a Python file. New file. Okay. So if you scroll up just a little bit more, just a little bit to the top one, just a little bit to the very top.
Very top, okay. Which
Go up a bit more. Here.
there is some non-used code as well. Looks like all this. Yeah, I was trying different code this thing, but yeah. Few codes are not needed here, code cells.
Okay, so let's go to Google Colab. Let's start your notebook.
So this iteration does matter, right, Louis? Max iteration.
Yes, and the iterations of this is you have to just be very careful as well, like in course of like making sure that you're using everything you need. And example, this one was to create a React agent versus like a simple one. So let me just see here.
What number is a good number to have, like for max iterations for this kind of chatbot conversations?
Again, it's all based of how well you have, like it all depends on, like it all depends on how much latency you're able to have. So if it's a chatbot, you won't have a lot of leeway in the sense that if it's a public facing one, people want responses pretty quickly. And you'll notice that every single time it will reflect, it takes about maybe 5 seconds or maybe 10 seconds to respond, right? Um, so when that happens, that's where that all depends. Like if you're doing a task for yourself and you really want to get good, accurate responses, then it's good to have maybe 3 or 4 reflections to stop, think, respond, stop, think, respond, stop, think, respond, right? Versus a public facing chatbot, you don't want it to reflect so much because users will that's and want it that way, right? So it all depends on your business case.
Okay. When you say think, it does really take time to think in that break, Louis, the model, or?
Yeah, so when I say think and reflect is pretty much based off your prompt engineering, right? So when you say please look at the matter, so look at this as an expert at this, right? Look at this as a marketing expert. So you're activating that tensor mode of marketing. It's going to look at all the words that belong to marketing, and look at your script and say, well, based off marketing reflector. It looks pretty good because it's using a lot of marketing words and it leaks with common sense. So then it's able to respond, this looks good in terms of our marketing effort, right? Versus if you were to then tell the next reflection to, is this for bot? Is this for, please make sure that it's aligning to what the question's asking. So then whatever it spot out the first time, it's going to then reflect and check what's happening, like what's like it's going to reflect on if the question that you said beginning actually made sense too, right? So those are the things that you need to that's when I say thinking, that's what happens, right? You having other models sort of validate your first initial model that you have.
But see, something like questions that I've been asking, it's just that it needs to get it from US news. That's it, right? I'm not even asking it to get from any internet research or anything. So even for these cases, do you think it's a good practice to have less iterations, max iterations?
Yeah, because if you're not having it, like for example, all you're doing is having a response out there, right? You want it to you're pretty much you're just doing a retriever. You're not doing anything more than just retrieving and responding.
Right.
So that's the only thing that yeah, that's the only thing you'd have to worry about from that.
Yeah, so only retrieving. So now I have given max iteration as 20. So is it okay, or should I give it a less number? Or does it even matter?
I would say give like a low iteration, maybe like 3, like
Because previously it was 5, and sometimes it just about saying that it reached the maximum iteration.
yeah, maybe this is so again, like the iteration will happen if you ask a question and it can't find the answer, right? It's gonna go and try to respond again based off the reflection, and then try again, and then try again, and then try again.
Okay.
So again, this is where the max iteration comes from. You don't want it to keep trying so much that you wasted 20 API hits, then you decided to fail, right? Sometimes it's based off a user story. If it tries 3 times and it can't find the answer, then you respond to the user, sorry, your answer cannot be searched right now, blah, 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 right? Rather than trying to hit it 20 times, and then you're wasting 20 APIs, and then in the end, they never found the answer.
Okay, okay.
I'm just trying to build something quick for you as we're having this discussion. So let me just
Yeah, okay.
um nothing should be done in like 2 more minutes.
Wow, you are a fast coder, Luis.
All right. So if you open up a new notebook, I'll be putting some new information in here in a second.
Chaitanya, I
So it's been a while. I just need to my Tably API key is not working. Let me just see here. Okay. Right, so I want to paste this in the chat. So if you want to open a new tab, it doesn't let me copy everything.
Okay.
Let's see, the max is 1,000 1,000 limit. So let me just post the first half of the code in the chat, and then I'll give it the second chat. Oh, I can't even do that. I'm gonna have to do this in chunks.
Can I give you sharing permission for my screen, I guess?
Or
Yeah,
you can share as a Google Drive file.
Yeah, I might have to I might just do it in chunks, so in the group chat. So you might import that first.
Okay, yeah, right.
And then this. Second
Come.
one. Keys.
You are a fast coder, Lewis.
I do this every day, so
Heavily.
Alright, so yeah, perfect. Should have everything in there now. So make sure you put it all in the same
Same cell?
yeah, to make sure it's on the same cell, because then it's sort of running through itself. But you can just put you can just put it there for now, so you can just combine it afterwards.
Actually, Luis, we have 10 minutes left. Is it okay if I can ask a question?
Yep, go ahead.
So if we need to write something with, let's say, roles and permissions, let's say I want to create a club management system where different members can create clubs and then other users can subscribe to the clubs. And then now, if a student comes in and says, okay, can you tell me list of the clubs available? And then can you tell me the list of clubs which are still open date? And then so members can ask, and also then admins can ask, give me the list of members who subscribed, all that, like, club management system. If a admin or club creator joins, they should be able to ask different questions and members can ask different questions.
So in order to do that, it's a sort of a two-part system, right? Like you would need to have your own like whatever program that you would have that people can sign in,
Yeah.
write the information in, and that stuff needs to get stored into some sort of database, right? Or some sort of information where all that information is sort of cached into. Once you have that information in sort of a cache, this is where then you can use a chatbot to read. You could read the chat information, read the database information from there, right? So you would have sort of a text to SQL RAG in the sense that you would ask how many teams are there, what's the list? So they would go into that database that you would have either that you created, and then we'll look and would create it would create a SQL function to select all teams with these following columns and return in a table format, right? So you would need in order to do something like that, you would need two systems. One is to collect the information, sort of administrate the teams and everything that you guys have. And then the second that would be the chatbot layer on top of it would be then a chatbot that is able to read the database that you created. Once it's able to read that that document's able to answer any questions about the club itself. So it would be like a two-step process.
Okay, so then everything is business as usual, but only thing is we need text to SQL API to interact with chatbot. That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't need to be an API. Like it, as long as you have something that you can point an LLM. Some of them are smart enough now to do it. You just have to prompt engineer it. Like you are now, your database is a SQL database. It has these following columns, these following rows. Go in there and I want you to pull information. And here's an example of how you would do it. Then you would show an example of a SQL statement saying select all teams, blah, blah, and how the output would look like. So the model would know. So the next time someone asks a question, it's able to know the SQL that it needs to write in order to extract information.
Okay, cool. Actually, so I'm thinking of doing for my 9th grader in her school, where
Oh, nice.
they create clubs through Google Forms, and there is no status update. People do not know which clubs are available, and they were asked to go to Instagram, where they spend more time doing other things than clubs. So
Yeah.
something. And do you have any sample, anything model, anything you can refer to, any samplings, or I can?
Yeah. Let me pull up something quickly.
Good idea. Hopefully, all students will start using your AI. So, yeah.
Let's see. And you went for Google Sheets, right?
Yeah, you mean like Google Share? You meant to say? In the sense, I was thinking we can even avoid that Google form submission completely. We will give you a form, they submit, and then they can check the status anytime.
Here, I'm trying to find something. Put you some examples. Llama Index, just like LangChain, is a really good people that have done a lot of information. So they're a good text to SQL, shows you how to do it. The example that they give here, I'll show my screen quickly. The examples that they give here are from OpenAI. So they ask for the OpenAI key for this one. You would sort of create your schema database from this. And again, you can connect your API, like connect your Google Sheets to this instead. You call your model. Again, here's what I told you about before. You give the test data to your information, and then you'll be able to select information from it. So there's a lot of retrieval. There's a lot of information on here. This one's has a good it's pretty much a bunch of information to go through how to do the engine, how to create the tables, and how to create the retriever. So create the engine, create the retrievers, and create the text to SQL retriever. So simple. So return the top 5 cities with the highest population, right? So this one, this example, you would say, what are the top teams that are registered, and then it would show you how many people have the most registrations, right?
Perfect.
So
Okay.
they'd be able to pull out the information that way as well. So this is a good way to start and sort of get deeper into it and that type of information.
Perfect. And also then, let's say if you do this, is there any cost-effective solution in the sense, now let's say we are going into using a school, and then kids may use so much or whatever.
Yeah, so you simply just keep it on something like simple for here. You create your own like small server, like it could be something very small. And for this, you don't need a really smart model. GPT-4o mini is actually really cheap. It's like 0.08 cents.
Oh.
So even if like you have 100 students querying and asking like what's the best thing, the maximum cost would probably be like $10 maybe in a month.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So it's 8 cents per million tokens. So
Wow.
even if it's asking small questions like that, they're not gonna hit that as well, right? So the smaller the model, the smaller the model is, the cheaper it is to use as well. So
Perfect. Okay, that helps. Thank you. And
Yeah.
sorry I interrupted your other program.
no worries, no worries, no. So yeah, hopefully you were able to run this, able to grab the code. I created this quickly. Again, the most important part of this is to have your secrets set up. So I created the Tavily API key and use your Gemini API key in your secrets. And then I was able to, like I said, it doesn't have to have all the different reactions. So at first, I create my chat history, like you're saying, from everything. I'm using Gemini 1.5 Pro, and I'm keeping the temperature 0 because I don't want it to be creative. I want it to give me everything I have. The max output I put here, and then I start my chat model. So get your API tickets, configure them, and then get your research results from queries, and then that's it, and get the response. So the first question I put, who is Lionel Messi, and then it's able to grab everything from Tavily and be able to respond.
Okay.
So then remember, you can always add prompt engineering to this as well, right? So you can go on top of this and then say, please only give me responses from US News as on top of the query results in terms of this. So remember, I don't know if you guys have Gemini part of it, but you can easily enter that prompt here and say, how can I put some context into this code? I haven't used this before, so let me see how smart it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it gives you some examples. So example, I want it to only use US News as a prompt. Oh, it's not that good. Okay, so yeah, so how I would go in here and say you would just create this. I think I have an example of this, right? Where you can modify this to include in the role user to how to add that context in here. So only to use US News. Please, you can even put in the please only respond with US News. All right,
But this is like a hard-coded prompt, right? But as a user, I don't want to type or say every time. I mean, by default, I want to get the new. Yeah, I think maybe in the code, yeah, in the Tavily itself, yeah.
yeah, so this is where the prompt engineering comes from. This is
Mhm.
where you don't have the user type that every single time as well. So see, 1 second.
Okay.
Luis, I have to drop off now. I am making you as the host. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah. Thank you, Luis. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Let's see this use. Just making sure it works, and then okay, so what I'm doing now is configuring Tavily to say only include these domains.
Right.
So I can tell Tavily specifically to only use these websites in order to get the information from,
Okay.
and then limit the top 5 results. By doing this, I can then give the context. So you are a US news specialist, only use a search for the major news sources, provide a comprehensive answer and its impact, and give relevant quotes from US news sources. So again, this part of the prompt engineering, only use information from providing a US news. Oh, sorry, can you see my screen or no?
No, we don't.
Okay, sorry. Okay, that's writing this part in. So in the process query now, I put you can use in Tavily search depth advanced, and then you can include domains, specifically where you want it to pull from. So you can say I only want it from New York Times or New York Post or CNN. You can choose the particular news sites you go to.
Okay.
Next, you can provide the context. You are a USU specialist, only use the following news search for news sources, provide a comprehensive answer and its impact, and include relevant quotes from US news sources. So you have the search, you have the query, only use this information when possible, right?
Right.
So then you have your role user, and then again, when I'm testing my query, who is Lionel Messi? I'm asking that question. I'm not putting anything about only US news. It's going to answer if there's no anything on the US information this time, right? So it's going to say based off the provided search, there's no information on US news about Lionel Messi's impact on US soccer since joining Inter Miami. Therefore, this search has returned no results from major US news sources.
Good.
So again, this is something you can use. I only think from here you would just have to convert it to a chat. Like this is just a query, right? You would just have to do the start initiate at the end. Then you would have your then you'd be able to start your model that way. So what I'll do is I'll save this. I'll call it Tavily search with LLM. And I'll put it in the WhatsApp group, maybe make it faster, make it easier. I don't know. And then everyone could have something quick to see how you can do something with Tavily, and you'd be able to limit it and then only use US news and sort of that way. Right? You can also remove this and just have it look. And again, you're telling us a US news specialist use only from US news resources, right? So if I were to remove this, like, and run this, I have to remove.
It may be more faster, I guess.
It's not gonna be a little faster. I think it's gonna look at all the sources rather than the specific domains. It's gonna take a little longer. So it's able to pull information now, but because we're not limiting it. So it's found something on ESPN, right? And if you notice up here, ESPN wasn't part of the included domains.
Oh, right.
So it found something about him on ESPN, but in terms of CNN, New York Times, they weren't doing anything on him as well. So this is where you can go back and configure how you want it and how you want it to answer. So I know we're over time, but hopefully this will be a big push and help for, when in your search. And then I'll do a download.
Thank you.
Download
Thanks so much.
this Python notebook, and then actually I'll just put that in the chat itself here, because I know this is your idea. So this is like a present for anyone who joined today.
Thank you.
Let me just put the file
So
on.
just a quick clarification. So since I used Tavily, or if I used RAG, like, getting the documents, chunking it up and saving it, which way is better, Louis?
You can use both. You don't have to stick with this. So let's say if you have already a gigabyte of US, let's say you already have a gigabyte of US articles, and then you chunk them, you put them in a retriever, you can then have it go first, your vector search first for an answer. If there's nothing in your vector search regarding that domain, then you can send it to Tavily to then get a response and respond back to it, right? This way you can save money not always using your Tavily key to get responses all the time. This is and do it that way. So we call this agentic RAG, where you have agents like this that goes out and it pulls information from the web, and also you can use your RAG information to pull in. So it's really that way. And again, the difference is if you're looking for something very accurate, like chemical compositions and things like that, and so you don't want something like Tavily to go online to pull you something that could not be right from a news source. You definitely want that in a RAG rather than a Tavily API call, right? It depends on how correct you want your information to be.
Okay.
Okay, so are you able to, everyone able to see the Python file in the chat?
Yeah, I could download it.
Perfect. So the only thing you have to do is edit, is just make sure just at the bottom and start initiate it like as a chat, and then add it to your Gradio, and then you're good to go, and then you have you'll have your rag up and running, and you don't have to, I mean, your chatbot up and running, and it won't run into so many API errors because you're not reflecting, reviewing, because you don't really need that much reflection in that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this one does have a chat history, and I made sure about that one. So
Yeah. Thanks, Luis. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
so good luck. All right, guys. I'll
Thanks,
catch you guys
Luis.
on Saturday.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye, everyone.